All hail the king. Okay, welcome back to the movie reviews. I am Elijah Ventura. Welcome, you freaky weirdos. First off, I'd like to say, hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day. Me and my girlfriend went out to Yogaland as like a nice little date and everything, but yeah, it was good. There you go. And sadly, though, I had to watch this without her. There's, still little. She couldn't go. She had plans of her own. But as you didn't tell from the overexcited close-up of the IMAX ticket, this movie was amazing. It was amazing. It was everything I've hoped it to be. And first off, I'm gonna start this first half of the video with no spoilers. So I'm gonna this is everything. Everything. Non-spoilers, so that's really hard for me to do, as you can tell right now. But how do I begin this movie? Talking about it, because if you haven't read the comics, it makes perfect sense. It blends technology with this third world country very, 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 very well, and it doesn't really fall short of terrible. It doesn't fall at all. It feels right, and in many cases it feels like a masterpiece. And in my case, yes, I really did love this movie. I was super duper excited about this, because I've read the comics, I've watched some of the cartoons. I grew up watching the original Avengers cartoons, where they one of them had the Black Panther, and they show this technologically advanced world. And in the cartoons, they kind of fall short of what it actually is, and also as a kid you don't really understand what it really looks like. But with the thank goodness for technological advancements in movies, because in this one you feel like it's a world you want to live in. You feel like you want to be in this. Man, this is really sorry. There you go. You feel welcome in a way, because in the beginning scene, it also shows in the trailer where you see the ship flying through the kind of protective cover of Wakanda, and it just looks amazing. It looks beautiful. It looks not Chicago. It looks like a really. It just looks like, because you have this weird third world country where there's tribes and huts, and then you have this kingdom or heaven of technological advanced buildings, flying ships, vibranium suits everywhere. And the best part is, in some cases, some tribes, they want to stay traditional, but they combine the vibranium technology to them. This one scene, this isn't spoilers too, by the way, where this tribe had these coats, and you think they're shields, and they're doing that, but then you see this blue ray come up above them, and we're that's cool. The entire time I was watching it, just a huge grin on my face every time something new, something interesting, something brand new came out. And I kept a smile on my face the entire time. I really did love this movie so much. Even the soundtrack. Oh my gosh, I need to talk about the soundtrack. So, the music in this movie is beyond what you expect, because I love the occasional tribal movies, the movies that have songs that you feel the beat to, and they stepped up their game in this one. They had people come from different. I've read about this, where they had people come in and teach them about the music, and They really did they really were nitpicky about the music, because for one, in movies, music can lead to how the movie would go. And this didn't fall short. I really love this. And if you watch it, you feel the emotional impact. You feel what it would, it would be like, and that's just the composite, the original composition alone. But the actual soundtrack they used was also original songs specifically made for the Black Panther film. Most of it's Kendrick Lamar, and I'm a huge fan of Kendrick Lamar, especially and like most of them are like The Weeknd, Kendrick Lamar, James Blake, King, SCA, and it was just like, my goodness. And then either way they mix and match the songs, and it doesn't, it's so like mind-blowing, especially like everything in this movie. Even the cast is like amazing. You have Michael B. Jordan, Chadwick Boseman, Lupita Nyong'o, Martin Freeman, The Hobbit. This, by the way, this blew my mind. I didn't know this until I finished the movie. The only two people that are white are the two people from The Hobbit. So, like, and it makes sense because these two are continuing characters. Because we saw Martin Freeman's character in Civil War, and then we saw Andy Serkis's character in Age of Ultron. So it made sense. And even in Age of Ultron, they've been teasing the Black Panther after mentioning Wakanda. With like Mark Ruffalo's like a temptation of saying Wakanda or Wakanda, and then like when that moment hit, people like, oh, they're gonna make a movie, and it's this, and it's beautiful, beautiful. And like even like Forrest Whitaker was in this movie, Angela Bassett was in this movie, I'm about to butcher your name, I'm terribly sorry. Daniel Kaluuya? I don't know how to pronounce your last. He was in Get Out, the main character in Get Out. And Donnie Goria. Okay, I'm gonna just stop right there. I feel like I'm disrespecting these people. I really don't mean to butcher your names. I'm sorry. But the cast was like so well done. It was like perfect. And that's not even the entirety of the film. For me, I love the Black Panther story. Black Panther is one of the coolest superheroes out there. And they made him, like, there is a reason as to how he's able to do what he's doing. I don't know if they actually did this in the comics, because I haven't read that many. I've only read 3, like, maybe majority of 3. And I fell in love with the idea of that there's this secret society, like not like much of a secret society, but this secret kingdom with like better technology than Tony Stark or anywhere in the world. And like to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. Because in the comics, the reason why they were hiding is because they didn't want to interfere with the rest of the world. Because at one point in the film too, they mention that if outsiders, we try to bring in immigrants, they bring their problems with them. But if they try to interfere, like with the wars, if they try to bring a war on each other, if Wakanda tries to put war on the world, it wouldn't go out in peace. So that's why they just stay neutral in this area called Wakanda. And the movies, here I'll say this at the beginning of the film. So the movie starts off with the explanation of how Wakanda was made. Was made. So the way it starts is, so the backstory of Wakanda is that this meteor made of pure vibranium crashed down in the heart of Africa. And, through time it started morphing into the plants, into the environment. Not the animals, but the environment, the plants, the plant life, the mountains. And then when man first arrived onto the world, 5 tribes vowed to protect this very important mineral, and that became Wakanda. They banded together, threw away their differences, and created Wakanda. And through time, as the world tore itself apart, Wakanda has become technologically advanced at the same time, neutral, and they didn't interfere with the world. And you get this sensibility of like, that makes sense, but then it doesn't really like kind of go along with the tradition, because wouldn't you want to share this advance? That's the point. That's like the key question in the film, as to like, wouldn't you want to, if you were a king, wouldn't you want to like share this? And I think that's what was happening in the Civil War with the film, because T'Challa's dad, mentioned that Wakanda will not be, will not. I don't know. I need to watch it again, because I feel like he was trying to set up a connection to the outside world, because they thought that in the Civil War that Wakanda was like this third world country. Technically not, but we see that at the end, like towards the very end of the Civil War. But but I believe that like the Chaka was trying to set up this bridge of parlay, or like kind of connection to the outside world. And that's the backstory of how Wakanda was created, how Wakanda became this technologically advanced of pure vibranium, the strongest metal in the world. And I'm sorry, like I just watched this movie like last night, and my mind is racing at this. Like, okay, I'm gonna say this right now. This movie, and I'm pretty sure everyone is saying this. I'm not saying it's a fact. I'm just saying like maybe some people out there are saying it. This is like Lion King on steroids. This is like Lion King on steroids. Cause like you have the king T'Challa, or the Prince T'Challa. Sounds like a familiar name, Simba. And then you have the father who dies, T'Chaka, or Mufasa. And then you have the love connection. And in this case, Lupita Nyong'o plays Nakia. Nala. I'm honestly saying, because I'm a Disney fan, and knowing that like these two movies sort of connect. I mean, if you take away the technology and the vibranium, I mean, and then you have like the enemy, who I'm going to say his name is Eric. I mean, they mentioned in one of the trailers, I think it was the international trailer, they mentioned Eric Killmonger. Who does that sound like? Scar. Yeah, and I mean, it kind of does sound like it's sort of exactly the same as Lion King. That's what I'm drawing parallels to. There's even a specific scene, which I'll get into the spoilers later, where you definitely have that strong connection. I don't know if that was supposed. I feel like that was supposed to be, because like Black Panther came first, because it came out in around I think the 80s, 90s maybe, and then came Lion King. So this is a weird part of the review. I'm sorry, because like I was watching the film and I'm like looking at it, I'm like, I've seen this before. Huh. And it's not bad, actually. I really like that connection, that little bridge, and just the immense of everything. The visual effects are beautiful to look at. The choreography of the fight is amazing. The suit is awesome. There is comedy in this film. I didn't expect there to be like jokes and everything, but it actually fits. It's not like the Star Wars Last Jedi, where it's like awkwardly placed. It's just like it's like high school humor. It's literally, because I'm in high school, but like I like, it's that kind of joking, relatable, like, if you do something stupid, it's actually kind of funny. And in this case, they have that moments where like they have like this T'Challa's sister, Shuri, who's like the kind of like the Q branch. She creates the weapons and the suits and everything. She's the scientist, the smart one. And then she like they do this like kind of sibling joking around, you know, they mess around with each other, and it fit like they were like everything like just coincides with each other, the jokes, the action, the relationships, the subplots, everything, even the villain. To be honest, to me, in my opinion, towards the end of the movie, I was like about to cry, and because of the villain. It's because of the villain, and I'll tell you in the spoilers later, but I'm just gonna say this right now. It has like a very, very strong point. He makes a very, very strong point towards the end of the movie, and that's what this, like, I'll explain it in the spoilers, but that's what this film is all about, making like very strong points while entertaining me. So yeah, like this film is just, oh man, this movie is like insane. I recommend watch. I'm gonna just say this right now. Watch this film. Like, I'm gonna watch this again. I'm definitely buying the Blu-ray. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is not a spoilers, but like people have been like assuming this, and I'm about to prove to those who had the same idea right. This movie was originally this movie was going to come out next month in March. There's a reason why they pushed it to February, and it's because of the Infinity War. That's not a spoiler, okay? It was already kind of like revealed in the trailers when they show like bits and bobs of like T'Challa talking to Cap about getting him a shield, and you know the war scene. This is the reason why, and it's the last end credit scene. I'm just saying that right now, until they get into the spoilers. I just wanted to say that right now, okay? Like, just to those who like were like, he's not, you know, this has nothing, you know, like blah 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 blah. Just watch it. It's perfect. It's insane. So yeah, I don't know. I have nothing else. I need to talk about the spoilers. There's only like a few things in here, but like it's still, you know. Oh, man, Alright, other than that, I'm gonna give my final verdicts. Oh man, this is a good one. This is my first 10 out of 10. I'm gonna give this right now. It's a 10 out of 10. This is my first. Did I give another movie a 10 out of 10? No. Yeah, okay, 10 out of 10, my opinion. Even though the movie has like slightly more CGI than I thought, because like most of the stuff you kind of need. Like, who in this world can move like a panther? I mean, I'm pretty sure there is, but not like cinematic quality like. Plus, he does like stuff. It's insane. Just it's like, you know, you watch the film and you're like, because like in the trailers you're like, oh, there's too many CGI scenes. What was I talking about? Oh, the CGI. Yeah, sorry, that was my mom. So then, like, you know, the CGI really, it's not too bad. It just makes sense there. I'll just say that, because like I can't really describe it, like, yeah, because it makes sense. If Chadwick Boseman, the actual guy who plays the Black Panther, were to do those stunts, in reality he kind of does most of his own stunts. He states he likes doing that work, but if he does try to do the you know, you know, he kind of couldn't. So then, alright, final verdict. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Watch this film. This movie is beyond what I expected. This movie is like, you think Marvel, since this is the 18th movie that I know, like, it's been made, and you think that that they're gonna fall short. One, no, this movie proves it. 18 movies and this movie comes out. Literally, like, it's just mind blowing to see how like they're able to go so far and still make out awesome blockbusters. Look, like straight from 2009. Look where we at, 2018. It takes nine years. Yeah, 9 years they've been making these. 2009 was like Iron Man, the first Iron Man, and now look where we are. So, congrats, Marvel. You blew my mind. 10 out of 10, in my opinion. Honestly. Yeah, just, like it's so much fun. Anyway, I'm about to get into the spoilers, and if you don't want to know the spoilers, then you might as well leave, because they're pretty big, considering it's kind of connecting to the cinematic universe. But yeah, that was my review on the Black Panther. See you guys in the spoilers if you're going to join me, and if you're not, thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Okay, now on to the spoilers review. So Eric Killmonger, who is the standout villain in this movie, who ends up killing Claw, to be honest, and it makes sense, because, you know, you couldn't really keep going with that character. You at least he's Claw from the Avengers in Age of Ultron, so it makes sense to kind of kill him off towards, like, the first act of the film, and it's like, oh, wow, you know. So then we discover that Eric Killmonger... Okay, so hold on. Let me backtrack. Sorry, let me backtrack. So in the beginning of the film, we take place in 1998. No, 96 or 98. I really couldn't see the letters, but it was in Oakland, California. And we see two characters. One is named James, and the other one I totally forgot, because they didn't... I don't think they mentioned it. And then two Wakandan warriors come and ask, who are you? Prove that you're of royal blood, or of Wakandan. And he pulls down his lower lip, and it shows this cool coating on his lip to prove that he's a Wakandan. And then next thing you know, the most badass thing of all time, where they bang their sticks on the floor, and then the lights go out, and then all of a sudden this Black Panther comes out of nowhere, and it's the T'Challa, young T'Challa. Or T'Chaka, my bad. Young T'Chaka. Man, these names are really throwing me off. And then, so, you know, we discover that they're brothers. Oh, crap. Yeah, his name is Najobu. And, you know, we discover that he kind of betrays Wakanda in selling vibranium. And this James character named, give me a second. Young Zuri, played by Denzel Whitaker. John Whitaker's son, I'm thinking. Hold up. I'm just going off by names here. Hold on. So yeah, we discover that, So we discovered that Zuri was a spy for the king, and his mission was to spy on Najobu, and then in doing so, you know, Najobu draws a pistol and then he dies. The king kills his own brother, and then we find out later that he had a son named, was it Nayagu? All we know his name is Killmonger. It was a really quick name drop, because he says it in the Wakandan language, which, by the way, is like real. Like, Wakanda is not a real place, but the language they speak is real, and that blew my mind. Anyway, so yeah, like they discover that the Eric Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan, is the son of one of the fallen kings, or the king's brother, my bad. And we're left thinking, like, you know, why would he just, you know, because, and his motivations is pretty darn clear. His motivations for trying to take over the throne, as we've seen in the trailers, is because he's been in wars. He joined the CIA, and then he went into JSOC, whatever that is. Like, he joined this specific paramilitary group, and then he sees these wars going on around the world, And then his father would tell him stories about Wakanda, about how beautiful the sunsets are and how massively advanced they are in technology, and they're just sitting there doing nothing. That's the motivation. Wakanda is a place where there is peace, technology, and they literally can heal people in a day from a gunshot wound. But why aren't they helping the world? That's his motivation. And he challenges T'Challa into royal combat, and he wins. So then he kind of goes along into giving weapons to people in the world, and he was actually fueled by anger. That's one of his motivations. He was fueled by anger on the death of his father and the selfishness on Wakanda. And to be honest, that's, to me, like, this is one of the most standing out villains I've ever seen. Because most villains, the way they die, it's like they die losing. They die not making a point. They die just going, I thought I would win. I thought I would win. Look at Ultron. Look at Ronan from Guardians of the Galaxy. Not Loki. Hela. Well, never mind. Take that back. She kind of got what she wanted. But in this case, Killmonger dies making a point. Because in towards the climax of the film, they were having this huge fight between T'Challa and Killmonger. And then T'Challa stabs him right as his suit was like kind of morphing it, because these magnetic rays kind of interfere with the vibranium suits that they're wearing, so it's kind of like leaving them with patches. And so he stabs him, and then T'Challa does the most honorable thing and takes him out to see the sunset, because his father would say that the sunset at Wakanda is the most beautiful sunset you've ever seen. And then he does this in the most honorable way, and then he offers him even more honors, like saying, we can heal you. And then Killmonger says, why would I want to be healed when only I'm going to go back when you're going to imprison me and stuff like that. And he says this quote, which is like which almost made me cry, because it's true. He says, throw me into the ocean, because my ancestors knew that death is better than bondage. And I'm just like, no, damn, wow, because he knew the world would suck for him, and for him, because if he was just going to be a prisoner, what's the point? And then, he tried to make a difference in the world by, like, giving them weapons, which honestly would have made the world into chaos. That's, like, a justification to, like, why didn't Wakanda share their weapons? Because the weapons there are, like, massively powerful, causing people, whoever has it, immense power. And then it ends like that for him, and it also sheds light onto T'Challa's mind, where maybe if Wakanda shared its resources with the world the right way, then the world will be in balance. And that's what happens at the end of the film, where T'Challa buys the house where his father kills his uncle. He buys another building, then he buys another building, and he's creating it to become a Wakandan resource center. And it's like, holy, no way. It's kind of like a revelation of some sort. It's like a revelation and a resolution to the character, because he wants the world. He wants the world to be better. But how? He's questioning it. At the beginning of the film, he's like, how can we make the world better with Wakanda? Because people would bring their issues with them if we tried to bring them in, and if we interfered with their wars, it would just make a war with each other. So then he comes up with this idea to make a resource center, and basically saying, we are Wakanda, and we have these flying ships everywhere. And he even at one of the here's one of the two end credit scenes where T'Challa goes to the UN in Austria, Vienna, and says that Wakanda will help the world with their problems. And then this man asks in a very polite way, saying, "Excuse me, King T'Challa, but what farmer is going to help us with our problems?" And they're just smiling. They're like, you have, like that face of, like, you have no idea. And it's a genius idea. And to me, that's what, if you didn't know anything about Marvel movies or comics, or like if you don't really care about the mythos, that's what you can take away. It's action packed, but then it has that underlying story of, you know, who we are and what can we do, or like there's nothing that can, you know, it's like a really amazing subplot, and it's really well done. And I adore the film for that, because I love what?
Happy birthday.
This isn't. And I really adore the film for that. Anyway, that's my spiel. The second end credit scene is the one I mean by that ties into the Infinity War. So we see these three kids looking at the camera, very, very childlike too, and then they run out, and then we see Shuri, T'Challa's sister, saying, "Who are you playing with? Are you playing with the white man?" She says white man too, so we're thinking it might have been, you know, that Everett, because in one scene we see him blow up and we thought he died, but he turns out he's not dead, because we see him in the UN. But it turns out to be Bucky, even better. So then, yeah, we see Bucky, and they do this reference called they're calling him White Wolf. And I don't really know, I'm gonna search it up later on, and to me that it kind of connects the plot hole as to what happens in Civil War, what are they doing to him during Black Panther, and what's gonna happen in Infinity War. Because they leave him in Civil War cryogenically frozen with no arm, and then we see him in Black Panther with no arm, and then we see him in Infinity War with an arm. So they're trying to do something. They're shaping his mind, because the reason why they left him in Civil War is because in Civil War he can be manipulated, and like brainwashed, and with German sayings like I don't know what else. And then we see him in Black Panther with like Wakandan clothing, and he speaks a little bit of Wakandan, a little bit. I think he said his name, and it's like, "How are you?" or something like that. And then towards probably in Infinity War, they give a solution to, like, you know, he's cured, you know, and it's like, ah. Anyway, that blew my mind, and I'm just like, it could possibly work like that. This movie is like beyond what I've ever seen in like a Marvel movie. It's wow. But yeah, that's all I have to say for the film, to be honest. Yeah. Oh man, I mean, just watch the film. I'm still hyped about it. I'm planning to watch it again when it comes out in the like other theaters for cheaper prices. Man, oh man, what was that? Anyway, but yeah, go out and watch the 10 out of 10 again. From me, the Black Panther came out yesterday, so I'm pretty sure you guys can find a seat, because when I went last night, I went to take the 10:30 because it was like a late time. Turns out they sold out almost all the way, because we wanted to get the 9:15, but it was sold out. So we got the 10:30, but that was like only 15% bought, and we're like, do it now. And then, you know, I see my friends too, and in 30 minutes the line was so long that it took, because in my theater there's this hallway, and it kind of goes into like two places, and it makes like a T. It literally filled up both ways, and I'm like, my gosh. And that's how much hype that was built for this film, and I love it. At the same time, I kind of felt sorry for my friends because they didn't watch in the theater I was in. But yeah, watch the film, just watch it, and you'll have a blast, honestly. Wakanda forever. That's one of the things too, that's what's cool. The salute is this, or it's not this, it's this. This was with the sister, this was with the soldiers. It's because like the sister, he shook his hand like that, soldiers, that. So yeah, watch the film, just watch it. I'm going to get the poster of this soon. So yeah, that is my review, and many more reviews coming out this year. This year is the year of films for me. You got Tomb Raider, Infinity War, Deadpool, Ready Player One, Jurassic World 2, Mission Impossible, Fallout, So many movies. So many movies. Anyway, that is my review on Black Panther, and I will see you guys on the next movie review. Thank you, and goodbye.